just want to say that you have recorded a video where you go really deep on this, on the upcoming crash that you say is going to be fast, bloody, and unavoidable. But you also explain how people can position themselves to profit from it. Again, people can watch that video at londonreal.tv/Jim. I highly recommend everyone watch that video. It won't be available on socials. You know, Jim, when I saw them do that guarantee, I was like, so you just printed money, basically. You can call it this, you can call it that, you can mix it up, you can do this. You just printed money, which is the opposite of what you've been doing, or what you've been trying not to do, which is really hard for them to not do, but they've been trying not to do for, what, a year, 2 years. But that's basically what they did. They called it something else, fancy new name, but it's basically the same thing. And like you said, it's the largest bailout in history, but they would never say that. You're like the only one telling people that that's the case if you really drill down on the numbers. And again, they kick it down further. They kick the can down even further. Has anyone woken up to realize what's going on? Or is that the point, to just get the public looking past this?
That's the point. The universe of people who really understand this, certain lawyers, certain regulators, certain analysts, they're, just experts because it's what they do, is pretty small. But the overlap between that group who really get it and the group who have an interest in making sure no one else understands it is large, meaning they're all in on it. The number of people who really get it, they can raise their hand and say, I'm an expert in federal finance, government securities and repo and off-balance sheet accounting and all that. And I think you're trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. That's like a handful. I mean, and, I'm one of them. There are others, glad to say. But and that's the other thing that really I just have low tolerance for, just the lies. If you have to do what you have to do, you don't want the whole system to collapse. I understand that, but you can be honest with people about it. So,
but Jim, let me ask you: they couldn't let that fail, though, could they? What would have happened if it failed? Because, we were going to feel it here in the UK. The prime minister was meeting with the chancellor about what they were going to do, and then Israel's got companies. I mean, if they had let that sucker fail with 97% of the deposits. USDC, the stablecoin, was depegged, which boggled my mind that the CFO wasn't fired that weekend for keeping 10% of his money in an unsecured deposit account. I don't know where to get started, Jim, but what would have happened if they let it fail?
Well, one thing I really like about Britain is every regulators, politicians, they mess up and they make mistakes, and it happens all over the world. But the British are really good at stepping up. They resign. If you've done very badly, you're a minister or head of something, and just things go badly on your watch, even if it arguably wasn't from, they resign. So I'll just resign. And Japanese do too. And someone takes their place. In America, we act like nothing's wrong. Nobody resigns. Nobody takes responsibility. I would have said Jay Powell, Michael Barr, who's the vice chairman of the Federal Reserve for supervision. So he's the guy who wears the regulatory hat. Powell's the chairman. And Mary Daly, who's the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. Why haven't all three of them resigned or been fired? This was not arcane. I'll grant, Brian, that you can get into derivatives and crazy off-balance sheet structures, and very few people understand it. You don't see it coming. Okay, that's true. But this was simple. These were 97% uninsured deposits ready to run out the door with massive bond losses. And they were in like 30-year bonds, 10-year notes to 30-year bonds. It wasn't like you had treasury bills. You can always sell a treasury bill and maybe take a little hickey, but not really. So you can have a government security, which is a treasury, almost no credit risk. I won't say none, but almost no credit risk. But there's always market risk. But the thing about treasury bills, 3-month bills or 6-month bills, there's very little market risk. They're not volatile. But when you're into 30-year bonds, forget it. You can take 20-point hits when you get the kind of interest rates we see. And that's what they had. And they put them in this held to maturity account, HTM, held to maturity. Means, we own them, but we're going to hold them for 30 years. And so therefore, you don't have to mark them to market, except if you sell them. If you sell one, because you got a run on the bank, you got to mark them all to market right then. And that's what this Fed facility was about. The CEO sold over $3 million worth of stock about 10 days before the collapse. Now he says, it was according to a pre-filed plan with the SEC, so it wasn't in response to any news or whatever. What do you have to understand? And there are such things, but these pre-filed plans can be part of the scam. In other words, I see it coming, so I'm going to file a plan so I can keep selling my stock. And then if I get accused of insider trading, I'll go, oh, it was all according to plan. Well, who's to say that the plan wasn't part of the scam? And that's the kind of stuff that was going on. The CFO sold a lot of stock. So that's certainly going to be investigated. But you can see this coming. But my point is, a bright high school kid with a spreadsheet could have seen this coming. This is not, you don't have to know Black-Scholes in your sleep to see this. It was assets, liabilities, huge uninsured deposits, about $125 billion of uninsured deposits ready to flee, and a comparable amount, slightly more, of the most volatile, government securities, okay, but extremely volatile, not that liquid in a crisis. That's all you had to look at. So where were the regulators? Where were the supervisors? And they said, well, we sent them a bunch of letters, and they tried out the letters as if that was exculpatory in terms of their regulatory incompetence. It wasn't. If anything, it made it worse, because oh, okay, you actually knew about it and didn't do anything. It'd be one thing if you never went over and knocked on the door, but you did. You saw something extremely risky. You sent them a letter and then didn't do anything.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
This course has been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.